Friends. Okay, welcome to Lakshya Academy YouTube channel. Up to now, we have completed three parts. Okay, been breathing and exchange of gases. In first part, we discussed about what are the different types of respiratory organs in different animals. In next part, we discussed some part of the human respiratory system. Respiratory system, we learned up to larynx. Then in the third part, we learned bronchi and bronchioles, trachea. Okay, in this part, our focus is on lungs. We are going to study about the lungs. Okay, before I go to lungs, okay, here you have a small exercise here. Okay, can you try this one? Okay, respiratory or what is the respiratory organ in earthworm? The respiratory organ in earthworm is a non-cellular thin moist cuticle. What are the respiratory organs in butterfly? The respiratory organs in butterfly are, what are the respiratory organs in butterfly? The respiratory organs in butterfly are trachea. And fishes, what are the respiratory organs in fishes? Gills, you know this one. And birds and reptiles, the respiratory organs are lungs. Okay, here the option is B and D. Both are the same options here. The next one is cartilaginous rings in the trachea are incomplete. Cartilaginous rings are incomplete on which side? I told you in the third part, in yesterday's part, respiratory organs are incomplete. Tracheal cartilaginous rings are incomplete on which side? Can you guess it? What is the answer? They are incomplete. They are complete on ventral side. They are incomplete on dorsal side. Larynx is the modified portion of. Larynx is the modified portion of. Okay, we have trachea here. Okay, over the trachea, okay, there is a larynx. Okay, this is the tracheal. There are rings here, cartilaginous rings, which are complete on ventral side, incomplete dorsal side, and this is the larynx, and this is the trachea. Okay, trachea, larynx is the modified portion of. Trachea is modified as larynx. Very important. Okay, now we go move to the next our today's topic, structure of lungs. Okay, you are familiar. Everyone knows about the lungs. We have two lungs. One on okay, we have lungs in the thoracic cavity, otherwise called chest cavity, right lung and left lung. Okay, in medical terms, okay, lungs is a common English term. Like in medical terminology, the word pulmonary denotes lungs. Okay, okay, what do we call lungs doctor? Okay, when you have some lung infection, something, we consult a doctor. Pulmonologist. Study of lungs is called pulmonology. The doctor is pulmonologist. Respiration through lungs is called pulmonary respiration. What is that? Pulmonary respiration. Okay, now next, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. What is pulmonary artery and what is pulmonary vein? We will discuss that later. Okay, the branching network of bronchi and bronchioles alveoli comprise the lungs. Lungs consists of branching network. This is the okay. These are the primary bronchus is here. Then primary bronchus enters into the lungs. Then it forms a secondary bronchus. Secondary bronchus or tertiary bronchus. Singularly, we call bronchus, plural bronchi, and then it forms the bronchioles. Finally, okay, there are alveoli. These all structures are present in our lungs. Lungs comprise network of bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli. It is all present in our lungs. We have two lungs which are covered by double layered pleura. Our brain is covered by three membranes. Okay, that is called meninges. Okay, growing fetus has four membranes, extra embryonic fetal membranes, amnion, chorion, allantois, yolk sac. Okay, surrounding our heart there is a pericardium. Like that, our lungs are protected by rib cage. Okay, lungs are also protected by pleura. Okay, covered by a double layered pleura. Okay, in between these two, I will show you here. Okay, this is the pleura. Okay, there are two pleura are there. Outer one is the parietal pleura, and inner one is called the visceral pleura. Between these two, okay, this is the one, and this is the other one. This is the other one. In between these two, there is a space here. This space is called pleural cavity. What is this one? Pleural cavity. Pleural cavity is present between these two. There is a pleural cavity. In this pleural cavity, there is a pleural fluid is present. Pleural fluid reduces friction. It reduces friction. Okay, we have two lungs which are covered by a double layered pleura. Okay, what do we call those two pleura? Visceral pleura, which is close to the lungs, and parietal pleura below the body wall. Okay, with the pleural fluid between them, which reduces friction on the lung surface. The outer pleural membrane is in close contact with. Okay, this is the outer pleural membrane. Here, outer pleural membrane. This is the inner pleural membrane here. Okay, this outer pleural membrane. Okay, you can observe here. Okay, this is the thoracic. Okay, this is the thoracic wall. Thoracic wall. You can observe here. This is the thoracic wall. Below the thoracic wall, below this one thoracic wall, there is a parietal pleura. Okay, below the thoracic wall, this is the thoracic wall. This is the thoracic wall. Below the thoracic wall, what is present? Parietal pleura. And after parietal pleura, what is present? Pleural cavity. This is the pleural cavity is present. This is pleural cavity. And after pleural cavity, what is present? Visceral pleura is present. Okay, that means between these two, there is a pleural cavity. In this pleural cavity, there is a pleural fluid. Okay, as I told you, this reduces friction. Reduces friction. Okay, the outer parietal pleural membrane is in close contact with the thoracic lining, the thoracic wall. Next, the inner pleural membrane in close contact with the lung surface. This is the inner pleural membrane. What do we call that one? Visceral pleura. It is in close contact with our lungs. It is in close contact with our lungs. Okay, right lung has three lobes. Left lung has two lobes. This is not given in our textbook. It is not given in both NCERT as well as state textbook, but it is important. It was given in NTA mock test papers. NTA, what is NTA? National Testing Agency, who conducts NEET exam. NEET exam is conducted by this organization, NTA, National Testing Agency. Okay, they are giving, due to lockdown, they are releasing some mock tests. If you observe those mock tests, okay, some bits which are out of syllabus. Okay, they are not given in state textbook as well as NCERT textbook. Okay, that means some points we have to read beyond our textbooks. Okay, especially in some important areas. Okay, this is the one of such bits. Okay, here right lung. This is the right lung, and this is the left lung. Right lung has how many lobes? Three lobes. Superior lobe. Here also superior lobe. Inferior lobe. Here also inferior lobe. But this lobe is present here, absent here. What is that lobe? Middle lobe. Right lung has total how many lobes? How many lobes here? Three lobes are here. Here one lobe. Total how many lobes? Two lobes. It was given in NTA mock test papers. Remember, and between you can observe one more important thing. It is also important. Between the superior lobe and middle lobe, there is a fissure called horizontal fissure. Horizontal fissure. This is absent here. Horizontal horizontal fissure is absent here. Horizontal fissure is present here. Horizontal fissure is present, and the weight of the right lung is more than this one. Right lung is somewhat higher in position than the left. Okay, next one. Between the middle lobe and inferior, there is a oblique fissure. Oblique fissure. Oblique fissure. It is present in both lungs. Oblique fissure is present in both lungs. Which fissure is present? Oblique fissure and oblique fissure. Oblique fissure is present in both. Here, horizontal fissure is present here. Horizontal fissure is absent here. Okay, that's about the lobes of the lungs. The right lung has how many lobes? Right lung has how many lobes? Three lobes. Left lung has how many lobes? Two lobes. There is a space between the two lungs here, where here our heart is located in this part. Okay, this is called as a mediastinum. Okay, it is very important one. Okay, right lung has how many lobes? Three lobes. What are they? Superior, inferior, middle. But left lung has only superior and inferior lobe. Lungs have 3 million alveoli. It is also given in NTA mock test papers. Okay, 300 million alveoli, huge number of alveoli. Why this number of alveoli are present in our lungs? They increase surface area for exchange of gases. Okay, what are the structural and functional units of lung? Alveoli are called the structural and functional units of our lungs. Pulmonary artery, okay, which brings deoxygenated blood to lungs from the right ventricle. Okay, pulmonary artery brings what type of blood? Deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to lungs. Why? For oxygenation. Pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood to heart. Which chamber of the heart? To the left atrium of our heart. Okay, next one, pulmonary respiration. Respiration through lungs is called pulmonary respiration. That's about pulmonary heart, pulmonary vein, and how many lobes are present in our lungs, how many alveoli are present, what is pulmonary artery, what is pulmonary vein, what is pulmonary respiration. Okay, now welcome to the next one. Difference between outer parietal pleura and inner visceral pleura. The parietal pleura closely attaches to the inner side of the thoracic wall. Parietal pleura, which is it is very close to the thoracic wall. It becomes the inner lining of the thoracic. This is the thoracic cavity, pleural cavity. This is the pleural cavity, is also called thoracic cavity. Okay, it forms. Observe here, it becomes the outer lining of the thoracic cavity. This part is the thoracic cavity. This is the TC, thoracic cavity. Or this is also, we can also say this is the pleural cavity. Pleural cavity. This place is pleural cavity. Okay, this is the outer lining of the pleural cavity. This is the inner lining of the pleural cavity. This outer lining who is forming here? Parietal pleura. And this the inner lining who is forming this one? Visceral pleura. Okay, becomes the outer lining of the thoracic. Next, visceral pleura closely adheres to the lung surface. Okay, it is closely lung surface, visceral pleura, and it becomes the inner lining of the thoracic cavity. It forms the inner lining of the thoracic cavity who is forming here? Visceral pleura. Okay, now you can see the transfer section when we cut our body at this level. Okay, here you can observe this, the right lung is larger than the left lung, and here we have left lung, and the parietal pleura is there outside. This is the parietal pleura, and then there is a visceral pleura inside. There is a space, this blue color one, this space is called pleural cavity, also called thoracic cavity. And here you can observe the thoracic wall. This is the body wall, and below this one there is a parietal layer. This is the visceral layer. Here is a space called pleural cavity or thoracic cavity. Outer cavity, inner cavity. Okay, pleural cavity or thoracic cavity is the outer cavity. Pleural cavity, as I told you here, pleural cavity is also called thoracic cavity. Between the pleural, parietal and visceral pleura, it is present between the parietal pleura and visceral pleura. And next one, here there is a fluid called pleural fluid which reduces friction. Okay, where is the pulmonary cavity? Okay, pulmonary cavity is present in the lungs. Inside the lungs, there is a cavity here. This cavity is called pulmonary cavity. This is the not pulm. This is the pleural cavity between the pleura. This is the pulmonary cavity. Pulmonary cavity. Where is it? Pulmonary cavity is present in lungs. Okay, what takes place here? Exchange of gases takes place in this pulmonary cavity. That is the difference between the pleural cavity and pulmonary cavity. Pleural cavity is also called a thoracic cavity. Next, we can divide our respiratory tract, entire our respiratory tract into two parts. One is the conducting part, the other one is the exchange part. What are they? Conducting part and exchange part. The part starting with external nostrils up to the terminal bronchioles. We learned earlier different. Okay, that means it is what are the different parts for external nostrils. Then there is a nasal cavity, then internal nares, then okay, nasopharynx, then okay, oropharynx, laryngopharynx. Okay, then comes the pharynx, trachea, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, primary bronchiole, secondary bronchiole, tertiary bronchiole, and terminal bronchiole up to this part. Okay, it is the conducting part. You know, conduct. Okay, xylem conducts water and mineral. Phloem conducts minerals. Food. Phloem conducts food. Like that, this part is conducting something. What is it conducting? Air, mainly conducting air. What are the functions of this conducting part? Next one, exchange part. Okay, this exchange part I will show you here. Respiratory system consists of two parts: conducting part and respiratory part. Conducting part and respiratory. The conducting part starts with external nostrils and up to terminal bronchioles. Terminal, starting from external up to terminal. Respiratory part consists of respiratory bronchiole. Here it is not mentioned. Respiratory bronchiole, alveolar ducts, alveolar sacs, alveoli. These all are present here. You can observe here respiratory part. Okay, here gas exchange takes place. It consists of respiratory bronchiole, alveolar duct, alveolar sac, alveoli. These all come under RP, respiratory part. Gas exchange takes place. And it transports a conducting part. No gaseous exchange takes place here. Here, just the conduction of air takes place. Okay, what are present here? Okay, I told you here external nostrils up to terminal bronchioles. Okay, up to terminal bronchioles, primary bronchiole, secondary bronchiole. These all are present in the what is which part? Conducting part. Another part is our respiratory system consists of two parts. What are the first part is conducting part. Next part is the respiratory part. Here transports it transports air. Here gaseous section takes place. It consists of respiratory bronchiole, alveolar duct, alveolar sac, and alveoli. Okay, those are the differences between conducting part and exchange part. Very important one. A conducting part what are the functions of the conducting part, and we learned what are present in conducting part, what are present in the exchange part, which structures are present. Now, what are the functions of the conducting part and exchange? Conducting part transports the atmospheric air to the alveoli. That is one function. It clears air from the foreign particles. If there are any foreign particles, they are trapped in this conducting part. And air is humidified here. Water vapor is added to the air. That humidification takes place in this part. And it also brings the air to our body temperature. Air temperature is brought close to our body temperature. These all functions take place in the conducting part of the respiratory system. Come to the next part. What is this part? Exchange part. What we discussed here, conducting part. Exchange part is the site of actual diffusion of O2 and CO2 between blood and atmospheric air takes place in this part. Okay, you can study this one from conducting part and gaseous exchange part. Okay, it starts from external nostrils up to terminal bronchioles. Okay, it consists of respiratory bronchioles, okay, the alveolar duct, alveolar cavity, alveolar sac, and alveoli are present in the gaseous exchange part consists of dissolved structures. Okay, next functions, transport of air. Okay, air filters the air, there is a air is present. It filters the dust in the air. Humidification of hot is added to the hot air, especially it occurs in the respiratory part of the nasal cavity. And temperature, here this is the temp means temperature of the inhaled air reduced to the level of the lung temperature, otherwise our lungs may damage. And warming the cool air, cool air is warming of cool air also takes place here. Okay, it also another function conducting part, olfactory function also takes place here. And gaseous exchange part functions, exchange of gases takes place between air and blood here. Okay, from the air O2 enters into the blood, from the blood CO2 comes into the air. Okay, uh, these are exchange takes place in the, okay, in the exchange part, especially, okay, mainly most of the exchange takes place in the alveolar air. From the alveolar air, oxygen enters into the blood. From the blood, the CO2 enters into the alveolar air. Next, thoracic chamber. Our lungs are situated in which chamber? Thoracic chamber, which is anatomically an airtight chamber. Okay, what would happen if there is a puncture to thoracic chamber? For example, one person, okay, when he's traveling by a bus or something, okay, he suddenly fell down and something pierced into the thoracic cavity. Okay, some nail or something pierced into the thoracic cavity. Okay, in this, for example, this is the thoracic chamber, and in this thoracic chamber, because of some accident, okay, there is one in this thoracic cavity, there is a puncture happened here. Okay, hole, okay, puncture happened here. Okay, now, okay, as a puncture happened here, okay, what would happen? Okay, respiration, breathing does not take place if your thoracic cavity is punctured. Okay, lungs are situated in the thoracic chamber. Okay, in this thoracic chamber, our lungs are present, which is the anatomically airtight chamber. What is the anatomically airtight chamber? Thoracic chamber. How is the thoracic chamber is formed? Okay, you know this one. Our thoracic chamber is formed by the thoracic chamber is formed dorsally by the vertebral column. On our back of our body, we have vertebral column. Front, we have a breastbone here. This is also called as sternum. Sternum also called a breastbone. Okay, on the dorsal side, what do we have? Vertebral column. Okay, on the ventral side, what do we have? Sternum. On the lateral sides, what do we have on the both sides? We have ribs. We have ribs on both sides. Okay, and on the lower side, we have below the lungs, we have the diaphragm. Okay, it is all together. What are they forming? One chamber is formed. This is called thoracic chamber. Thoracic chamber is formed dorsally by vertebral column, ventrally by sternum, laterally by they form laterally by ribs. And the lower side, that means below the lung. Okay, here we have a diaphragm here. Okay, this is a, okay, you can observe here. Okay, dorsal back side of the body. Okay, lateral side there are ribs are present, and here, okay, here on the anterior side there are clavicle and some muscles are present here. It is all together. What do they form? Thoracic chamber, which is anatomically airtight chamber in which our lungs are located. Okay, thoracic chamber is formed dorsally by vertebral column, dorsal side vertebral column, and ventrally by ventral side sternum, and laterally by ribs and the lower side. Okay, on the lower side by diaphragm is all together forming one chamber. In that chamber our lungs are present. Okay, imagine this is one chamber. Here there are ribs are present. These are the both side ribs are present. Here diaphragm is present. Okay, this is the thoracic chamber in which our lungs are present. Thoracic chamber is formed dorsally by the vertebral column, ventrally by the sternum, laterally by the ribs, lower side by the dome-shaped diaphragm. Okay, you can observe here thoracic chamber. On the ventral side we have sternum. Look, on the dorsal side there are backbone. Back side we have backbone, and here in the lower side there is the diaphragm. On the lateral side there are ribs. These all together formed one chamber called what is called thoracic chamber, which is airtight chamber. In this chamber our lungs are situated. Anatomical setup. Anatomical setup of lungs in thorax is such that any change in the volume of the thoracic cavity will be reflected in the lung cavity, or I told you two cavities earlier in this part. Two cavities I told you. One is thoracic cavity, otherwise called as pulmonary cavity, pleural cavity. The another cavity is the pulmonary cavity. If any change takes place here, that will be reflected in this PC. This is the PC. That means this is the pulmonary cavity. For example, a small example. Okay, whatever you do, your actions reflect in our parents. For example, if you get first rank in IPE exams, statewide first rank, your parents will be proud of you. They will be very happy. On the other hand, if one student fails in the exam, okay, your some parents may start crying. Okay, they feel very sad. That means whatever you do, those actions will be reflected in our parents. If anything wrong activity is done by your parents, that will be reflected in their parents. Okay, that means we have to keep in our mind that okay, whatever the things that we do, whether good or bad, okay, they will be reflected in our parents. If you do good deeds, good things, your parents will feel very happy. Okay, like that. Here, if anatomical setup of lungs is where are the lungs? In the thoracic chamber, in the thorax, such that if any takes place in the volume of the thoracic cavity, okay, if the volume of the thoracic cavity volume increase, okay, that will be reflected in the, okay, in the pulmonary cavity. Volume of the pulmonary cavity volume also, here I am talking about volume. If this volume increases, this also increases. If you get the first rank in the NEET exam, okay, NEET exam, okay, you are happy, your parents also will be very happy. Look, if you are getting if you fail to get the rank in NEET exam, your parents will be unhappy, and you are also unhappy. That means whatever you are feeling, your parent, that will be reflected in your parents also. Okay, the volume of the thoracic cavity will be reflected in the lungs. That means pulmonary cavity. Why such an arrangement is required? Such an arrangement is required for why lungs cannot increase their own pulmonary cavity. Lungs cannot increase the okay, on their way. The what do we call the cavity present in the lungs? Pulmonary cavity. Lungs cannot increase the pulmonary cavity or the volume of the pulmonary cavity on their own because they do not have any muscles. Our heart can contract and relax, systole and diastole, but our lungs cannot do so. Okay, that's why, okay, this kind of arrangement is important. Such an arrangement is essential for breathing because as we cannot directly change the pulmonary volume, we cannot change on our own. For example, okay, this is the bell jar in which lungs are present. Okay, inside the lungs there is a cavity called, this is the what we call this cavity, pulmonary cavity. Okay, there is a cavity here. This is called pleural cavity, also called thoracic cavity. Okay, here is a diaphragm. That means there is a rubber sheet here. Okay, if I pull this one down, okay, the diaphragm okay, this diaphragm is like rubber sheet here. Okay, the diaphragm comes down. When this diaphragm comes down, okay, here, okay, as it comes down here, now the volume, okay, volume increased here. Understood? Okay, this is the normal. This is the bell jar, normal one. Okay, here is the diaphragm. Okay, if I pull this diaphragm down, okay, here lower side there is a diaphragm. Okay, if I pull it down, if I pull it down, now what happened? The difference between these two, here the volume is less, here volume increase. The volume increased here because it has pulled down. It has pulled down. Volume increase. When this volume increases, okay, this is the what volume? This is the volume of the thoracic cavity. Okay, thoracic cavity volume. Volume means the area here increase. When it increases, okay, this pulmonary lungs also enlarge. That means what we call the cavity present in the lungs, pulmonary cavity. The volume of the pulmonary cavity also, the volume of the pulmonary cavity also increases. Okay, this is very important bit. Okay, it was given in previous NEET exam also. A person suffer punctures in his chest cavity in an accident. Okay, in an accident, the chest cavity or thoracic cavity is punctured hole without any damage to lungs. Lungs are not damaged. So its effect could be, what could be its effect? Reduce breathing rate. Okay, rapid increase in breathing rate, no change in respiration, and cessation of breathing, stopping of breathing. A person suffers punctures in the chest cavity in an accident without any damage to lung. Its effect could be stoppage of breathing, because if this wall is punctured, for example, this wall, okay, this wall is glass, bell jar wall is broken glass. Okay, it is broken. The lungs do not expand. Air does not enter. That means breathing is stopped. It is application question, very important one. Okay, that's the end of this part 4. Part 4. Okay, watch this video repeatedly and note down the important points. Some of the points I have mentioned here, which are out of your textbook, but they are important. They were given in the NEET mock test papers. Okay, you have to note down. Okay, I hope this video is helpful to you. Okay, if you feel it is helpful, please okay, press on the like button and subscribe to Laksha YouTube channel. Okay, thanks for watching this video.